Hi, I'm Ron Cobreth, the creator of this TikTok and YouTube channel. I've been doing Lego animations for a really long time. Today I'm going to give you guys some advice. Which Lego movie should you make out of Lego? And which movie is perfect to make out of Lego? Well, that's a really good question. Let's get started, shall we? Okay, first of all, some of my content, it's all about World War II, World War I, Vietnam War, and also modern day wars and stuff like that. I've never done any Gulf War videos so far. What are my inspirations for war videos? It comes from video games, of course, like Call of Duty and Medal of Honor I used to play with a long time ago. They're definitely good games. If you guys are gamers, you can make it out of Lego. Lots of people are doing Lego animations based on popular video games. For example, the most recent video game called Battlefield 6 might be kinda cool to make out of Lego, don't you think? Let's have a campaign of the GameCube make out of Lego. According to one of the YouTube videos I just saw, there's one that takes place in New York City you can make out of Lego, or in Egypt with the Apache gunships. You can make a Lego Apache gunship. I'm too lazy to make an Apache gunship. Otherwise, you make it out of clay, or use like a toy helicopter to pretend as an Apache gunship, and the interior could be a Lego guy. You can make pyramids out of Lego too. I think Battlefield 6 is definitely a cool video game to make out of Lego to create a scene based on a game. Like for example, in Call of Duty games, all the levels in the game you can make out of Lego. Definitely cool, isn't it? If you guys want to make a Lego animation based on a popular film, what type of most recent movies have you watched so far in theaters? So far, the best movies I saw were Devotion and Top Gun Maverick or Bill and Ted 3. You can make a Lego animation based on Devotion, like the part where during a dogfight scene between an F-4 Corsair and the Russian MiG during the Korean War. That sounds like a good idea, don't you guys agree? You can make tiny Lego bricks, like one of these. You can make airplanes out of them. If you're too lazy to make a big giant airplane because there's not enough space. For example, like this table right here. Well, there is this blue thing right here, which is a good background. And this right here is you can put all the bricks and the Lego themes here. For example, you could put this Lego brick right here. You could put this one over here and stuff like that. You could put a car like this one. You could put a Lego figure, make a setting here. If you want to make a tank battle, like, you know, during the Gulf War. Except this thing's turret cannot go down. Well, it doesn't really matter. This thing is like an air effects set, but the turret cannot stay intact. Maybe we'll put clay and bottom of it. So if you make a tank battle, you can create like one scene with a tank, or you create another scene with the other tank here. If you want to make a Devotion movie out of Lego, if you have an F-4 Corsair out of Lego, if you have it made, and brick arms, it might take a lot of space. You have to put it right here. It's going to take a lot of space. You need like a bigger floor mats and bigger screen floor mats to make a Devotion scene. If you want to make a Lego animation based on the soldiers engaging the North Korean troops in the snow, you can use this floor mat right here. If you want to make a barrier, use this. Sounds like a good idea, don't you think, for a scene in Devotion where the US Marines are fighting the North Korean troops? If you want to make a crash scene, you can always put like an airplane crash below here where this white guy is trying to help the black guy to get out of the plane to save his life. Sounds cool to make out of Lego animation, don't you think? Speaking of which, Top Gun Maverick might be cool to make out of Lego, don't you guys think? What type of scenes can you recreate out of Lego? What about the part where Tom Cruise and his friend Rooster, hijack an F-14 fighter jet out of the hangar? That sounds cool for a Lego animation, don't you guys agree? Except the problem is the F-14 is way too big. If you have a Matchbox F-14 fighter jet, or like a 1/72 scale fighter jet, or like a 1/48 scale fighter jet, a 1/72 scale fighter jet's perfect, but it's way too big. It might take too much space because the real-life F-14 is a pretty big airplane. Modern-day planes are pretty big compared to World War I airplanes. It might be cool to make out of Lego the part where Tom Cruise and the other guy escapes out of the enemy airbase with an F-14 fighter jet. What about the dogfight scene? That might be cool to make out of Lego. You can use CGI, or you can use tiny planes made out of Lego bricks. Tiny Lego bricks. Don't you guys agree? If some of you guys are girls, you can make a Lego animation based on Wicked. I don't want to make Wicked because I'm not a girl. I do military content. Wicked's not a military movie, it's for goddamn girls. If you guys are girls, you can make a Lego animation based on a scene from Wicked, like the singing scenes, or the part where two girls are fighting each other that's really big on YouTube. Or you want to make a Lego animation based on the last movie, where Jeff Goldblum meets the two girls in the Land of Oz. Or what about the train scene? That'd be kind of cool. What about the scene where they're dancing in the university? It sounds cool to make out of Lego, don't you think? But I don't really care about Wicked. It's a stupid girls movie. I'm not a big fan of musicals. Musicals are boring. I'm more into army men, special forces, and dogfights, and tank battles. I'm not really into girly dancing, singing, and crap. If you guys want to make a D-Day movie out of Lego, you can recreate a scene based on a scene from Saving Private Ryan if you want to watch it, or you can watch it on a YouTube video. Or if you ever played video games like Medal of Honor or Call of Duty 2, you can recreate a scene based on a battle of Duhawk, where they're trying to storm into like a big cliff. Sounds like a good idea for a Lego animation, don't you people think? You can also make a Lego animation based on a scene from the TV show called Band of Brothers. It's about paratroopers during the D-Day invasion, which is a true story about paratroopers. And what about the scene in the Pacific TV series? You can make out of Lego, like soldiers storming into a beach fighting the Japanese, or a Call of Duty World at War whatsoever. If you want to create a scene of Jurassic Park, you can create a part where Ellie Sattler's running away from the Velociraptor in some type of building where she tries to turn on the lights. What about the part where Dr. Grant and the kids try to escape through the electric wire? Well, the kid gets shocked. That works cool to make out of Lego. What about the part where the T-Rex breaks out of the cage and starts attacking the Ford Explorer, trying to attack those kids, and Dr. Grant managed to intercept the T-Rex? Sounds cool to make out of Lego, don't you think? But here's the problem. The T-Rex is way too big. You have to use a big full camera, like a big setup, to make an entire space with T-Rex and a Ford Explorer upside down in a T-Rex paddock. It takes a lot of space. You need like a bigger table to make that scene. Or if you want to make a scene based on Jurassic Park 3, is it the part where the Spinosaurus killed that guy who is injured while the airplane takes off? It sounds a bit too complicated. What about the part where, I don't know. Jurassic Park 3 seems too complicated. What about the part where the Spinosaurus is chasing after the characters through the fence? Well, Eric is being reunited with his parents. Sounds good to make out of Lego, don't you think? In the second movie, you know the second Jurassic Park movie? You can make a part in Lego where the T-Rex eats that dog in the suburbs of San Diego. That would be kind of funny, don't you think? What about the part where the T-Rex smashes that bus in San Diego? Sounds cool to make out of Lego, don't you think? Hey, what about the part where the RVs are about to fall off the cliff? Sounds good to make out of Lego, don't you think? If some of you guys are fans of comedy, if you guys like Austin Powers, you can create a scene based on a scene from Austin Powers. I don't care give a fuck about Austin Powers movie. Those are bad guy movies. They're a bunch of crap. If you want to make a... What about Harry Potter? What type of scenes you recreate in Harry Potter? What about the train station, where Harry Potter goes through the wall and enters between the Muggle world to the magic world, where he hops onto the train? That would be cool to make out of Lego. What about the part where Harry Potter lets a snake out of the cage? That would be cool to make out of Lego too. What about a Quidditch match? Or like a wand battle? That would be cool to make out of Lego, don't you people think? And in the third Harry Potter movie, what about the part he rides on the night bus? Sounds cool to make out of Lego. What about you can make a Lego Harry Potter movie in the Monka's perspective, where it takes place in the city of London, a very high-tech, futuristic city. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. You can make a Harry Potter movie, say in Las Vegas, Nevada, or any other city you live in the United States of America, like Chicago, New York, Pennsylvania, Detroit, whatsoever. But London, England, I don't know that place very well. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't care about England. I don't care about British people. I don't care about London. I don't know that place. I don't know British people either. I know Americans. I never had American friends. I know them on TV shows and movies. Stay tuned for part 2, where I talk more detail, what to give you advice, what Lego movies about Lego animations. I'm sorry, I can't talk right.